Curse of the Man-Thing is a book that exists. Released in 2021 and written by Steve Orlando with a handful of artists, Curse of the Man-Thing is a set of 3 one-shots made to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Man-Thing. As someone who has basically never read a Man-Thing comic in my life, is this story any good? No. The gimmick for this series is that each one-shot guest stars one of Marvel's most popular characters. The Avengers in issue 1, Spider-Man in issue 2, and the X-Men in issue 3, as they work alongside Man-Thing in an overarching story. This is as clunky as it sounds. Also, since the one-shots don't really end, this should really be a 3-issue miniseries, with each issue just introducing a new guest star instead of, theming the entire issue around them like we're doing now. Well, the quirky formatting is one thing, but is the story any good? The first issue opens with a young woman calling herself the Harrower, pitching this evil idea to a group of old women called Horticulture. Now, Horticulture is an X-Men villain from 2019, so I'm not sure why they're in this 50th anniversary special instead of one of Man-Thing's classic villains, ExxonMobil or something, but hey, maybe new blood is what's needed to really celebrate the old. This is why Harrower's plan is to steal the Man-Thing's body and use it to burn all of reality, so plants can rule the world. Now, the rest of Horticulture just wants to kill some humans and not, all of them, but one of the supervillains ever respected their elders, so Harrower goes off without their permission. Note, this will not be important later. So Harrower goes off and murders Man-Thing quite easily. This causes giant trees to sprout all over the world, and they release spores that burn every human who feels fear. As you might expect, this is a lot of them. The Avengers assemble to try and stop the trees, and most of the issue is spent doing this. Captain America also gets wrapped in vines and abducted to Man-Thing's inner psyche, where he meets Man-Thing's original human Sona, Ted Sallis. Sallis brought Cap there to help, but then decides that Cap isn't helping and kicks him out. Next up is the Spider-Man issue, and the big question is, who can help Ted? Is it Ted's old friend and science buddy Kirk Connors, aka the Lizard? No. Is it Spider-Man? Yes. Great power, great responsibility, and all that. So Sallis' new resolve causes Man-Thing to regrow his body, and then he summons Belasco, the demon who made the serum that turned him into Man-Thing. Except instead of a scary demon man, he gets Magic, a scary young woman. She rules hell now, don't worry about it. Time for the X-Men issue. The X-Men are in it for all of 3 pages, when they send Storm to help Thor create a worldwide rainstorm and just friggin' put out the fire. The rest of the issue is all about magic. Really, Magic Curse of the Man-Thing should have been the title. Well, it should have been Curse of the Man-Thing number 3, but you know what I mean. Anyway, Magic tells Sallis that him turning into Man-Thing was actually Belasco's fault, but she can reverse it. This will, of course, let Harrower burn every human being on the planet to death. Sallis isn't a freaking idiot, so he and Magic go beat up Harrower. Magic calls in some mutant friends called the Dark Riders, this is their first appearance by the way, to beat up Harrower's giant fly minions while Man-Thing drags Harrower to his inner psyche, torments her with her messed up past, then sets her on fire with her fear and drops her in the Nexus of all realities, so she's gone forever. The Nexus is like a crossroad between different universes, so I think Harrower is actually more of a threat here. Also, the rest of Horticulture is here, they fell in earlier, and they're gonna break out with Harrower. Great plan, cool, glad that got resolved. Also, Man-Thing and Sallis are gonna torture Belasco, which he definitely deserves for all the stuff he's done to Magic. If you want to learn more about that, check out my X-Men Magical Weddings video. So yeah, that's the Man-Thing 50th anniversary special, featuring almost no Man-Thing. Definitely not what I was expecting. I figured there would be some Man-Thing in my Man-Thing comics, but he really just fights Harrower for 2 pages and the rest is Ted Sallis. The Avengers and Spider-Man also basically stopped being relevant after their own issues, and Spider-Man is barely relevant in his own issue aside from the end. Captain America at least has an extended fight sequence protecting the Lizard in the Spider-Man issue, and the Lizard is a Spider-Man villain, but none of them matter in the X-Men issue since the trees become a background distraction. And I know Magic is an X-Man, but I think you need more than one X-Men to be an X-Men issue, and the Dark Riders are too irrelevant to count. Why would you debut a new team of X-Men in a Man-Thing comic anyways? Guest star weirdness aside, the comic is just not very good. The villain has no depth or presence outside of the trees, which get reduced to a background problem to focus on Sallis' moping. The elaboration on Man-Thing's backstory is odd to say the least, and Man-Thing is barely in it. Good job, book, you failed on all fronts. The original Man-Thing comics by Steve Gerber are apparently pretty good though, so if you want some Man-Thing, go read those instead. And in the meantime, thanks for watching.